what exactly this means for the process of getting another Chief Justice for the country. Joining me in studio now is Duncan Okach, who is an advocate of the High Court. A very good afternoon to you.
Thank
Many
you so
thanks for
much.
joining us. And we've just had Chris Thairu there giving us details of that particular ruling. What exactly does this mean for the process now that the interviews have already kicked off?
Uh, the implications of this particular ruling by Justice George Odunga is that it has, in effect and in one strands of a pen, opened up the interviews in terms of the interviewees, such that anyone who had applied and who had been, for one reason or another, was not shortlisted, now has a lifeline, and actually the JSC is supposed to obliged and to actually include them in the interview sessions, and as such they had already planned their timetable to interview the applicants for the next 6 days. It throws a spanner into the works. They have to relook at that and now co-opt them into the process.
Is this not an attempt to police how the Judicial Service Commission does its thing?
Not at all. If you have a chance of reading that ruling, it is very clear and very concise in as far as it still protects the sovereignty of this constitutional commission or body. However, it goes further than that and says that the mandate that they have been given is a donation by Kenyans themselves. Therefore, they have a higher duty or a calling in as far as the search of the next Chief Justice or any other judge per se is involved. It is a process that the judge is saying the qualifications that they are looking for, the procedure itself is supposed to be so open such that any Kenyan who has a look at it will stand satisfied that the procedure that led to the choice of this particular person as the next Chief Justice is very clean, is beyond reproach, and there are no machinations either politically or from any other quarters.
Well, initially, the JSC had said their decision to keep this private is that some of the things that made some of the applicants not be shortlisted were very personal. So how exactly do we expect them to react to this ruling by Judge Odunga?
If you look at the nature of the interviews that are taking place, they are public interviews. The questions that are being fronted are fronted publicly, and the responses are fronted publicly. It's actually in live time. That actually tells you that the moment I or yourself subject yourself through an application that you think you're qualified for this particular job, there is nothing like privacy at that particular point, and that is the view that I hold. Yes, there is a right of privacy which is still enshrined under the Constitution, but again, there's the right of knowledge enshrined under the same Constitution, whereby each Kenyan is supposed to know, especially once you have subjected yourself to such a process. Therefore, it defeats logic when you have subjected yourself to such a process, and in the same breath, you still want to keep other aspects private.
So where do we go from here? Are we expecting that the JSC will retreat and probably re-strategize on how they will conduct this now that a ruling has already been made?
Definitely. What I know, and in legal parlance, they are extracting an order, and I know it will be served upon the JSC any time from now, and only then can they now retreat, which I expect them to do, and look at this issue, and they will offer a statement, because doing any otherwise will be in contempt of court, and they know better not to be in contempt of court, and they will give us the way forward, whether they will review it publicly, whether they'll just decide to interview all these people publicly. The choice is on them, but the catch is on the fact that they will not forward names to the president.
All right, thank you very much. Do not go too far, because we're still going to be joining in the second bit of this bulletin to just help us understand the intrigues of this particular ruling. Duncan Okach there is an advocate of the High